I think good design is important no matter what it's for. If you want people to read it and you want the information to be like ingested and used some way in their life, it has to be good design. Everybody's perception of what's happening in the city is depending on this flyer that they get in the mail or, event that's happening that's on the city's website or social media. If it's not attractive and someone isn't going to pick it up, then there's no way that they're going to know about the programs. It just needs to look polished, it needs to look branded, it needs to have consistency. I get to work with police and the library and community development and the water department. Really feel like I finally found my home and something that's very much more fulfilling here at the city. It's a lot more creatively challenging, and I like all the people that I work with, and I feel like I'm doing something good in my community, and I just feel proud of the work that I'm doing, that I make part of that stuff happen.
It's hard, I think, as an outsider to understand what graphic design is. I think a lot of people have the idea that all we do is draw on a computer, but there's so much more to that. There's a huge process behind each individual design that's out there, and every single one of them is different. Anywhere you go and you see a logo, that has so much to do with a graphic designer. It entails so much understanding and so much research. It's getting to know your client, it's getting to know your audience, it's getting to know color, it's getting to know feeling and what you want to portray yourself as. I work for the MU studio, the creative suite, where it's a very open space and you can ask for feedback within a second from someone. I think it's nearly impossible to get one design done without the help of someone else, and it has helped me a lot as a designer. I'm so passionate about the arts in general and what it can do for people and how much of an impact it has on every single person, and understanding the world as a whole, I think, is what graphic design helps people get to know.
For my senior portfolio class, this was the finished product. Okay, so this is one of my favorite photographs of us that looks like this, but then for the class we had to take textures of real things that we had scanned, like I think this was like some jeans or something, and then this was like a kitchen towel. You're saying something with text, but you're also saying something visually. Since I did start off with a fine arts background, I've thought about why didn't I stay with fine arts versus graphic design? And I feel like the difference for me is when you do a painting or something, a lot of times it's just self-satisfying. It's what you need to convey and put out there in the world. And that's awesome. I'm glad there's art like that out in the world. But for me personally, I like graphic design because I think it's helping to support a message or convince someone to sign up for a committee or take part in the political campaign. It's artistic, but it's carrying a message. It's a little bit more active, I feel, and that just appeals to me.
I think for my fine art environment, it's a lot more secluded, which is very unlike me. I'm a very people person and I love to be around people. But when it comes to fine art, it's such a personal thing for me. And I usually only draw in my bed at home with no one else around me. My senior capstone this year, which is technically like a thesis, it's something that we think that we can solve with design. And for mine, I am doing art therapy. What I'm doing right now is understanding how people don't have the accessibility to it. For me, growing up, I never was able to afford art therapy, and I want to make a book for people to take home that they don't have to pay for. Being able to just give it to someone, I think is so powerful, and that's the reason why I think the design in general is just such a awesome field, is because of doing stuff like that. You can help anybody in any way just through design.